Good morning, welcome to Policing TV. I'm here at Staffordshire Police headquarters with Superintendent Nicki Furlong. Nicki, thank you so much for giving us time this morning. You lead for the force amongst a range of matters on response to domestic abuse, and it's on that we're keen to hear what the force has in mind, or what the force is putting in place for those victims of domestic abuse here in Staffordshire. So please tell us something about that.
So I think it's probably quite important just to set some context around that. We absolutely recognise that our response to domestic abuse is so important as an organisation. And on our journey that we've been in and engaged, and the improvements that we've wanted to make, that service to domestic abuse victims has been a really important part of our journey. So we recognise that when victims of domestic abuse call us, that's often a huge leap of faith in the first place, because they are likely to have suffered at the hands of a perpetrator for quite some time before they get the courage to ring the police. So it's really important that when they do make that call, that they get the service and the help that they need at that time. I think it's important to say that when victims of domestic abuse ring us and they are in imminent danger, like a 999 call, that kind of a scenario, we have always been good at responding to those type of incidents. So we will always come in a victim's time of need where that danger is imminent and there with them. Where we've wanted to improve has been in we call them grade 2 incidents. So it's where it's not a 999 response, but actually that victim still wants a service offers in a timely way. So
it might be, for example, that the alleged perpetrator is no longer on the scene, that the individual still feels under threat, but in terms of the assessment in the control room here, there is not an immediate threat, but still there is a threat that the victim feels is very much present.
Yes, definitely. So it's where the victim is in a safe place, and they ring us because they might want some advice, they might want to report a crime. There's a multitude of reasons why a victim will ring us. But what we know is that when a victim rings, they want help there and then around whatever the issue is in a timely way. So our new enhanced video response team, which is a new team, it's planned to go live at the end of November in the Stoke-on-Trent area.
We're recording this at the end of October 2024, and a new acronym for me, EVR. So Enhanced Video Response.
Yes, it's the Enhanced Video Response. So some of the forces have called it a rapid video response. There are two different alternatives as to how you can set up this team. So one is that from the control room, victims are immediately transferred into the rapid video response team. In Staffordshire, we had some feedback from victims around when police respond to them, if they've called us before, there is an expectation that we know the history of that domestic abuse situation, so that victims aren't having to repeat themselves over and over to different police officers when they meet them. And so we listen to that feedback, and so when we have formed our enhanced video response, it will be a callback service. So within 2 hours of the victim ringing us, we will ring them back. A DA specialist who's received training will ring them back and will listen to what they want to report, and then carry out a risk assessment with them, and make sure that we then provide the response that they want in a timely way. So that's the plan for the new team.
And is this something that you'll be introducing force-wide, or is it something that's going to be introduced to a certain part of Staffordshire in the first instance?
Yes, so in the first instance, it'll be introduced in Stoke-on-Trent. And then we will take the learning from launching in Stoke. We're really interested in victim feedback, so we're building in at the end of the call for victims to be able to provide immediate feedback. And then also we carry out surveys with victims as well around their whole experience of the justice system and policing. So we will be triangulating that feedback. And then building on that, we will use what's working really well. We'll have an opportunity to tweak if there's any improvements we need to make before we roll it across the whole county. So that's phase 2 of the project.
And an opportunity to learn from other forces' implementation of the same or something similar. Also recognising that there may be enhancements that you and your colleagues here in Staffordshire Police can put in place, not just for those initially in Stoke, but for the benefit of all victims of domestic abuse, DA, here in Staffordshire?
Yeah, we've worked really hard on the development of the team. So we've been out to multiple different forces to go and see how they've done things, what's worked well for them, where they've encountered their challenges. There's a real culture here in Staffordshire, and our journey out of Engaged and to get into being an outstanding police force, where we will regularly go out to other forces where we're told there's best practice and people are doing really well, and to go and see that, to make sure that we aren't kind of reinventing the wheel in Staffordshire and we're building on other people's successes to then bring it back to Staffordshire.
So this is my third day of filming here in Staffordshire, and it's very clear that there's a determination amongst all those that I've met that the difficult times that Staffordshire Police is very much behind the force now, and you're looking to make those further significant improvements. This is one such area. Do you agree that there is that determination across the force to make that very significant improvement?
Yeah, I think that while we've kind of come out of Engaged, and there's much to, I suppose, be pleased about in terms of the improvements that we've made, and it certainly feels very different here around there is a real feeling of accountability around the performance and the work that we do and the difference we make to the public, but I think that in reality I don't think there's really been, if anything, I can say for sure that nobody's been taking a foot off the ball because we're out of Engaged. If anything, it's kind of that expectation that we up the gears and we won't stop until we get to be an outstanding local police force, because that is the ambition of everybody here in Staffordshire. It's a small force. You get a sense of pride out of people that work here, and we absolutely want the public to feel that they have got an outstanding police service.
Well, Superintendent Nicki Furlong, thank you very much indeed for explaining the enhanced video response. I think I've got that right, EVR. I very much hope and look forward to Policing TV being able to come back and report on the success that you've had with the introduction of this and the rollout in due course. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.